Hello and welcome to this new episode of the Hero Lights Monday magazine, and we are here today with another Heroes 3 battles with the round 2 of Haven vs Necropolis. In the previous episode we saw how Necropolis actually managed to defeat Haven, and by a small margin, though it was a clear victory for Necropolis. And what we'll try and see here is how Haven could actually overcome Necropolis, and what I'm going to do is actually give you two examples of how that would go the other way around. And the first one is pretty much a standard procedure, if anyone can call it like that, is that when you play with Haven here, you can get your first and main hero. Let's say that this is CL, and which has a lot going on for her, but you can also have a secondary hero. Grindan is a really great prospect for this slot because he also gives you a little bit of income, but most importantly because he can learn all the magic schools out of Haven. And what I did here is get him a lot of power. At least he is he has mostly invested in power, and the reason for it is, as you can see, there's only one phoenix in his army. The reason for it is that he will serve as just a time bomb. And what I mean for that by that is that whenever CL goes, Grindan would follow. And so let's say that both of these heroes were just walking about and they happened upon Vidomina. This is an opponent here, and as you can see, Vidomina has a lot of troops, far more greater than what we have, but I'm guessing this really won't matter anyway, because what we'll do here, and I'm going to play both battles actually, just to keep it balanced. What I'm going to do here is get this attack first. I'm attacking with my secondary hero. Now, as you can see here, Viromina has a lot, and I just have one phoenix. But what I'm going to do here is a pretty standard procedure in Heroes 3 is, in such cases, is cast Armageddon. And as you can see, the phoenixes are unharmed, but what happened to Vidomina's army is that she lost a lot of troops. And not only that, but I can actually even surrender. There's an option. If I don't want to lose the phoenix, I could just give less than 2,000 gold for it, which is a pretty fair amount. Or if I don't really care, I could just retreat. And if I'm actually close to my town, I could actually even recruit Grindan back and just do the same again. But I'm not going to do anything like that. In this scenario, all I have to do is just attack here so that I will lose the phoenix. And I did this because I wanted to show you how much impact this attack had. I mean, I lost one phoenix, but Vidomina lost all this. And so what I'm getting at here is that Vidomina was weakened from this attack. And now let's see what CL got. She has the Elementalists, as much as she could master, and as much phoenixes as she could master. And what she's going to do here is attack Vidomina once again and pretty much make the same procedure here. So I'm going to here, and once again here's an Armageddon. And now Vidomina has even less troops, and let's see what her options are. Now, I mean, if I were in her shoes, what I don't see what else there's much I could do about it. I mean, I could go for, let's say, protection from fire, but thing is that in most cases I wouldn't get fire magic. So most players at least wouldn't do that. So I mean, what to do here? What can Vitomina do is rely on the fact that she has more forces than CL, and pretty much go on a full offensive. I mean, what I would do is just go with haste here and just try and get as many as possible. Now I'm going to wait anyway because I'm not close enough, and that's the thing about when you play with Armageddon. You don't really have so much forces, so I can wait, but the power leeches can actually attack. And yeah, let's wait. So I mean, it's this time to play CL's turn, and as you can see, most of the troops are not that great in numbers. So what I need to do is focus on the skeletons here. And now that this is out of the way, all I have to do is get all my forces right in the open, and even get some more vampires back. Okay, that was fortunate for her. Let's see this attack. Alright. I didn't do that right. Alright, so obviously I'm going for Armageddon once more. And as you can see, most of the troops are pretty much depleted here. So, I mean, Vitomina could go for Anime Dead here, but I don't really see the point. What she can do is actually focus on the Elementalists here. Let's get this attack. Let's try and get some more vampires. I think it's safe to say, let's wait, that most of them will be dead. Yeah, let's get this retaliation here. Then this one. Okay, that didn't happen. And we can get some more spells out of it, like this. And now there's one Armageddon once more. As you can see, pretty much all has ended. It's still a close margin though, I have to say. And the fact that Vitomina has a lot of skeletons here makes a difference. But still, in the end, and what happens here is pretty much that there's nothing to it. What Vitomina can do is actually keep animating this dead here and hope that they can get to the phoenixes. And in the meantime, Armageddon pretty much makes all the difference. But there's not much to it, really. And what I'm going to do here is resurrect the phoenixes, and the rest of the battle pretty much is, as you can see, one-sided. Vitomina could go for this, but then the phoenixes would be resurrected, and now instead of just, I could go for implosion and that would be the end. But I'm not going to do that. I think I made my point out of it, and that's the way it would go. And even if I were to lose the battle, I mean, I could just repeat it right now, and I mean, just repeat it again, even with one Phoenix, right? I mean, Vidomina's army would have been depleted by my original army. I mean, the rest of the army of the conflicts would remain the same. So I think that's that for now. So let's get a retreat out of Vidomina. And so this would be the one way to get this how to say this battle, but there is another way. So let's see. We'll try and play the same battle, but without Armageddon. So we have the gold of all these weeks. Let's upgrade our creatures here. Once again, I'm going to try and buy as many forces as I can get, starting with the most obvious ones, and I will change all my resources to something else, namely, okay, I cannot do this. Let's go for full gold here, and let's see, can I get... no, there's no reason for it. Let's get 9 ghost dragons, and I think I might be actually even able to get all of them. Yeah. Alright, so pretty much we got all of them, not all the ghost dragons, but that's okay. Israel has once again a lot of skeletons, and so he will take C. Actually, I think it's a female. She will take her place here in the battle area, and I will show you how this could go another way without the use of Armageddon whatsoever. Okay, I forgot. I want Vidomina back just so that Israel can actually have all the spells available, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So let's begin our next turn. So okay, let's say that the thing about Armageddon is off limits, but so what will you do right now? What I did here is rely on Odette. Now Odette is a warden, which is the planeswalker, and she has she relies on pixies and sprites, which is a really great specialty actually, because you can get a lot of sprites. What I did here is buy every week any elementalist or planeswalker I could get and get his troops. So this is pretty much what her army would look like in month 3. So, and why did I do that? I did this because I will rely heavily on sprites, and not only that, but as I said, this is the new haven. The old conflux was replaced, and what you can do here is actually upgrade all the elementals to elementalists. In a way, you use them to train an elementalist. So yeah, this pretty much means that I got these troops without purchasing anything else from my town. And since Odette actually has artillery, so I think it is a must-have to buy a ballista. Right. So let's see, what can I buy here? Obviously, I'm going to get all the phoenixes and the ithons. These are really powerful, and all the sprites I can get. And from there on, I will also get all the elementalists. Let's try and get this one as well. Can I get this one? Right, and so we are out of money right now. But what I'm going to do, as I did before, is liquefy all my resources, so at the very least I can get at least some halflings as well. And alright, and to be honest, I don't see the point, but anyway. And let's rearrange them a little bit. Let's get this here, and this is pretty much okay. So, alright, let's see how this will go right now. I don't really know how it will go, but I think Odette has some good possibility to actually win. So what I would do here with Odette is rely on the strength of the sprites, and we will see how much a difference will make the specialty. Now, as you can see, Odette has 15 attack. The sprites have actually 2, so that would be 17, but as you can see it's 21, and the defense accordingly, and they got a +1 speed. Now, what I'm going to do here is I don't really have much spells, and so what I'm going to do is rely on the speed, because all these creatures are really speedy, so I will go with haste. And let's see, let's attack here. Let's try and end this one. And now for the sprites, let's see how many we can kill here. Alright, so as you can see, this pretty much halved all the skeletons. And yeah, obviously I can get them with the ghost dragons, but what I'm going to do here is pretty much get a slow going on just to eliminate it and try and kill as many as I can. But as you can see, they still bite a little, pretty much powerfully. Once again, I'm not going to attack this one. Let's get some more here. Can actually attack here. The thing about this is that now pretty much Israel doesn't really have much pretty much doesn't really have much skeletons as she used to have. And now I play first, so what I can do is get a little haste going on and just continue attacking here. And yeah, I almost got them all. Alright, so now it's my turn again. Since I'm a warden, I don't really rely on spells. I could go for this one, but to no avail. So once again, I'm going with a haste, and I can do here. That's the here, and let's end all the vampires. Let's block this one, and now it's all up front. And yeah, as you can see, the skeletons are pretty much depleted right now, so essentially their reign is over. And what Israel would try to do is actually kill all the phoenixes, but still they are too much for it. Now what I could do is a much low, pretty much play the same way that Israel played here. And that's that for the skeletons. I'm pretty much making great progress here, as you can see, most of the troops are now dead. And I mean, what he could do right now is start animating dead, maybe get some more out of it, I don't know. But in the end, there's not much else left to say. And that's the thing about Haven. It pretty much relies on speed, so if you take advantage of it, I mean, I think you can get a lot of out of it. So there's not much left to do really. I mean, I could go for an implosion here, but I actually after the why not? Let's end this one and let's kill this one. There we go. And that's the thing, as you can see, it pretty much was one-sided in a way. I mean, there's not much left that she could. I mean, she could go for Armageddon just so that I would lose some of my troops, but in the end, there's not much to it anyway. And pretty much that's that. Actually, I think it will end right now. I could just even get this, try and kill him before he even plays. I don't know. Yeah, and yeah, as you can see, that's that. And Odette pretty much prevailed with, and I even forgot to give her the spell books, but that didn't really matter because she may have lost all the sprites, but they did make a difference. As you can see, Israel had all these troops that she lost, and now we got the spell books. So this was it for round 2. As you can see, there are ways to actually beat Necropolis if you manage to use all the extra points of your town in a tactical way. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Now this is it for now, and if you like my channel, make sure you subscribe. This will help a lot to maintain the channel and keep it going. And also, if you like it really a lot, consider supporting me on Patreon and leave a comment below of what you think about this battle, if it could go any other way, and so forth. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Cheers.